So today I'm going to talk about sustainable farming. I was super interested in it maybe a year or two, no, maybe a bit more than that, 3 years ago. And I did as much information as I could, and I was growing things at my farm that my dad had that has been sold. And I was looking into heritage seeds, and when I was working I would go and buy myself seeds as a present. I saved so much money, and my little gift that I'd give to myself each week for saving and doing everything with seeds, because they're just so cheap, and but they have such a good return of what they give, which is food. And so I've just been watching a sustainable farming show again, which sort of re-sparked this within inside of me, and just some of the interesting things that they said that I thought I might share with you is about how the plants, I didn't know this before, but the plants have an immune system, which I did know about, and when a plant immune system is affected, then normally that's when the plant will be affected by insects, because the insects can actually tell when the plant's immune system is down, and then they can attack the plant, which is super. I just found that so super interesting. Now I just wanted to share as well, my dad has taught me one of the most amazing things, and that is about soil, and how important soil is, and that, you know, most farmers and things are constantly having to regenerate their soil with lime and all these other different things to bring life back to the soil, and then they kill the soil again by doing the things by pesticides and all the other things that they put on the soil. And the greatest way to know if you have life-giving soil is if there is life in that soil. Worms, insects, bugs, all these sorts of things show that you've got healthy soil, and how important soil is. Soil and water are the two most important things, and we are constantly destroying both. And how important sustainable farming is for the soil and for the water. For thousands of years we have gone through this process of farming and destroying the soil, and not being able to farm on that piece of land anymore, and having to move. So being able to find these solutions is such an important thing. So you know, it's a very the other thing that I think is most important is we don't know where our food comes from. Majority of the time, even organic food, it's not really that organic majority of the time, and labels that are put on things in the shops are there to make you buy them. So, you know, no gluten-free, or no pesticides, no this, no that, but it doesn't show you what it does have or what they've done to replace those things. So it's all about marketing and selling a product to you, rather than the actual nutrition which is behind the food that you're eating. And having smaller farms which are more sustainable, and being able to support them is so beneficial for the farmer, but for the land, but also for yourself, the consumer who's eating these products, because you're actually eating products that are more nutritious, that are much more nutritious, much better for your body, that are not chemicalized and creating illnesses. Food is medicine, and when you eat food which has been, like meat for instance, meat is such a big issue because the meat industry is so, like, really bad, and majority of the time a lot of the animals which the meat industry sells are very sick themselves. They have blisters, they have illnesses, diseases, things like this. They have hormones injected into them. They have all these other things, antibiotics, all of this sort of stuff that's in their body, and then we digest it, and then it becomes a part of us. So this is why there is such a huge rise within illnesses and health issues. I think also mental issues as well, because the brain is all worked out with chemicals, and when your food and your diet is being pumped full of hormones, hormonally, it creates such issues within the body. Being pregnant's been really interesting because, like, a lot of this stuff has gone out the window for me. I've been so focused on my pregnancy and I guess my relationship that I forgot about, well, not forgot, but I haven't put my focus on like I used to, my diets and really outsourcing those farmers and the life that I was living before, like I was a vegetarian, all these sorts of things before I got pregnant. I've just been so pregnant and hormonal, and I just have just like sort of thrown my hands in the air and been like, oh, I'm just going to sort of sit in my emotions and eat whatever I am craving, which is a lot of crap a lot of the time, like meat, you know, like I'm so overeating meat, but because my iron levels and things, I've made myself eat all this meat, and I can feel hormonally how that is affecting me, and how, rather than me doing what I was doing before, of being a vegetarian and actually having really high levels of iron, I don't know, I just been so emotional and hormonal, and such huge changes have happened in my life that I've sort of tried to blank out that part of my life, which is looking after myself, giving love to myself in that way, giving love to my child in that way of what I'm eating, what I'm watching on television, you know, all of this stuff. It's like, what do you feed your brain? What do you feed your body? What do you feed your soul? What do you feed? All these sorts of things, and they all matter a lot, and we get distracted and tired and overwhelmed that we sort of stop focusing on giving love to ourselves and looking at what we're actually, how we're living our lives, and how that affects us. And it's a cycle, because from the food that we eat, we get tired, and you know, from all these, like from the things that we're bringing into our consciousness through what we're watching and what we're, like, you know, what we're putting our, I don't know how to describe it, like, it's like a lifestyle thing, I guess, of, you know, what sort of music you listen to, or what sort of environments you put yourself in, and how that then can just continuously cycles itself of then, okay, well, you're going to watch really horrific movies, well, then you're going to put that in your subconscious, and at night you're going to dream, and you're going to have those sorts of horrific dreams, and, you know, you don't realize how deep that stuff actually goes inside of you. So, yeah, that's my thing for today. My rant, Emily's rant. It's yeah, just a little bit of a food for thought. I hope everyone's having an awesome day, and love yourself. It's one of the most important things you can do in life, because when you love yourself, you then you fill yourself up with love, and it emanates to everybody around you, which is really important.